All right, I believe we're going live. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know so I know everything is working okay. This is we sure can hear you. All right. Showman and the Great Dream Hero. Thank you so much. And hi, Showman. Hi, the Great Dream Hero. Hi, Lunith Spark. Bridget. No technical difficulties. Just have to. Don't want anybody to miss it. So I basically advertise it all over the place. I'm sure you saw it all over the place. Um, but yeah, so this is the drawing we're going to work on today. Thanks, Simon Israel, for the like. I changed it up a little bit. You can see it's a little bigger now when it says your name if you follow us. I'm Lavalle Lee. I work here at Don Bluth Studios and traditionalanimation.com, working on this project here, which is called Bluth. And Don will be the narrator, and it'll be put together as a video. But what I'm doing is I'm doing all the smudge up, which is getting rid of all the gunk. You see all the dark gunk you see all over the place, and getting rid of all that, and coloring the characters, and getting it ready to put it together and compile it together with Don's narration, some music, and with into a video with like page flipping and stuff like that. And we hope to do enough. Don's written a whole bunch of these fables, and we're hoping to turn this into maybe books as well. So let's see, Maxwell. Hi, Maxwell. Hi, Vivi. Hi, Lorna. Hope your phone doesn't die. I hope your phone doesn't die either. That would suck. Looks like we got 77 viewers in here. Let's get some more people in here. So let me just share it in a couple more places. Let's see. A whole bunch of places. So during this live stream, don't be shy. Ask questions. I love to answer questions. I plan on giving a little lesson today as well. Last week I gave a little lesson on Clip Studio. So the program I'm using is Clip Studio. And I'll give a little bit of, you'll watch me what I'm doing, but I'll also give like a little, tips and tricks here and there. But there's one I want to cover today because I have to do it on the last drawing we did last week. And I'm going to show you that drawing because it's finished. But there's this one little thing. Our YouTube channel, it will look the best on YouTube compared to Facebook. Has all this, they bring down the quality of it. And if you do follow, you'll get your name right there on the bottom. Likes as well and shares. Please share it as well. I really appreciate it. So let's see what some of the comments say. Amir says, how long do you think until it starts? I've already started. Brandy says, I can hear you. Tarhel, going to see some great animation. Megani, I think I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I butcher your names. I am sorry. Tarong Hammer Shark, how's it going? Greg Oreo Vidal, hello. Vivi, I think I said hello already. It's great. Whenever Clip Studio's on sale, you jump for it. Otherwise, it's like $200-300 bucks. But sometimes it's like $70. That's when I bought it. Studio, like we do, we had multiple people doing Clip Studio. We'd buy one, and then that'd be 2 machines. So that's a great. It'll say, sorry, there's too many users activated or whatever. And you have to. So what's cool about Clip Studio is you don't have to. It's called Adobe Cloud or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically where all your apps are on there, and you have to be signed in to actually use their software. But yeah, Clip Studio is awesome if you guys want to get it. Plus, I'm going to be teaching some Clip Studio, so you could be administrator here at Don Bluth Studios, and I am the vice president. And I run traditional animation, and this Bluth Fables was my idea. So you put all that together, yeah, that's why it's on my personal YouTube channel. Let's see. We don't actually have a Don Bluth Studios YouTube channel yet, and we have a couple other Don Bluth Studio or Don Bluth animation and university channels, but I mean, there's just so many. We have so many channels. It's crazy. Stories will be illustrated books and narrated also in videos. Yes, we're hoping to turn them into books as well as videos, and the videos will be free. So, but then if you want to, have it home and you got kids or nieces and nephews and you want to read them a story, or you want to these away for free online as well. So, let's see. We could hear you. We'll start. These little guys here. I painted the lion. I painted the little goblin guy, and now they're nice and colored. I shadows so it didn't look so flat. Then he gave me the colors to the area right here that it was missing, so that got fixed. Again, shadows. He liked the color. He kept the color here. He wanted their eyes yellow. So that's basically what happened. So this is another finished page, but there's one thing I want to do on shadow. Let's see if there's any questions before I start. I believe you mentioned a possible book hard copy. Okay, yep. Okay, already covered that. Okay, so over here, if you see my mouse, it's right here. I'm going in circles on the left. This is called, and you can see the strokes. I'd have to double check what it is, but they have something very similar to this. But I'm going to blend it so it just fades into nothingness. Basically just turning it into a gray scale that just dissipates. All right. I might have to double check that later. But it's a pretty cool tool when you want to just blend things out to nothingness. You can see it a little thicker here. I'll get rid of that. Blend it some more. I did this on the first one. Might have to add a little bit more gray. But for now, that's good. Okay. All right. Luna says, I think it's crazy Don Bluth is still animating to this day. Yeah, I mean, the man is a big workaholic. He works a lot. Workaholic, but this man beats me to that big time. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that for now. I might go in there later and do a little bit more. But as of for right now, I'm just going to leave it. But that's basically one of the tools. It's a main Apple screen. So let's see. Will these videos also have some motion or eye blinks or just solid images? Don't know yet. Probably the first one's just going to be solid. Probably not going to be too much movement or anything like that. It's going to be not too dynamic because we just want to get it out there so we have one available. But we might end up adding some, I think they call it a living comic book. There is so much to do. So I'm going to try to get to as much as I can on this. And then in the next live stream, I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm not sure other studios does this where basically you scan a drawing. I'll show you the original drawing. This is Don's original drawing. As you can see it. This is his original drawing. Then what we do is we darken the lines, knock out the background, and then you've got basically just the black lines and it's see-through. Amir, yes, this is Clip Studio. But everything is, basically what happens is we scan the drawings and bring it into Clip Studio. And then from there, we manipulate it in Clip Studio. Let's see. Greg says, just subscribe to YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate it. Yeah, if anybody out there, you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, I appreciate it. That'd be great. Vivi says, which one is your favorite character and why? I don't know. For this one, I like the bunny a lot. I actually animated the bunny the other day just for fun. But I really like the bunny. The lion is cool. I mean, it's hard to say which character's my favorite. Once it's finished, I mean, that's what's cool about these fables is every fable is not going to be the same characters. They're all going to be completely different characters. Thanks, Chantal, for the like. So yeah, all these characters for this story, it's just going to be these characters. But the next story is going to be completely different characters. So it's going to be really cool. So Bluth Fables will be different every single time. Let's see. Tell us some things about the characters. Well, the main character is the lion, and the lion is the king. And the bunny wants to be the king. And this character right here, he is a kangaroo, and basically he's friends with the bunny. So I don't want to give out the story yet until it's done, but or he's actually he's taking the lion who's sleeping and has the crown, and he's bringing him somewhere. But I don't want to give, I really don't want to give away what happens. Let's see. You're welcome, Vivi. Let's see, over on YouTube, we got some YouTube comments. Also, remember, you guys, it's best to be on YouTube for the stream. So if you want to head over there and get into that chat, because the live stream will be in much better quality, be a much higher resolution. Showman says, will there be a book on draftsmanship by Don Bluth? That would be worth at least 40 in his experience, knowledge, and obvious willingness to teach. Would he prefer a hardback or ebook? Well, Showman, when it comes to Don doing a book on animation or art, he's done 2 already. So there's the art of animation and the art of storyboard. So he's already done 2 books. So there's already 2 books out there that Don has done. When it comes to learning from him from new stuff, of course, we have the Don Bluth University, which is our school. And that school is, we have seats available. And you can actually become a student of Don's and learn from him all week for an entire. So yeah, we already have a way, if you want to learn from Don Bluth, is to take his classes. The assignments, when you see the example, some of my in-betweens are there of Don's drawings. It's pretty cool. But the school is definitely a great place for any artist who wants to learn hand-drawn animation a classical way. And what better way than to learn from Don Bluth? It's from The Hobbit. What is his name? That's Smeagol. Is it Smeagol? It's been a long time since I've seen The Lord of the Rings. Very, very long time. And I don't think I could watch it again without falling asleep. Let's see. Bist Wanton. It's midnight in my country. I was working on animation. Glad I checked Facebook and found your stream. First time here. Subbed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to do more. I'm going to be doing more of these streams. And in fact, when we get closer to actually putting it together, I'll be using Premiere and taking Don's narration and music and actually putting them together and live streaming, putting it together. So you definitely, if you're really interested in this project and you want to know more or be part of it, because these live streams are going to last forever. So your questions and your subscriptions and all that, you will go down in history as being part of Bluth Fables. But just subscribe to the YouTube channel and be part of it. And yeah, because I try to read off pretty much every comment you guys say, because I believe in transparency as well as, oops, gotta make sure I get this right, transparency as well as making and letting the fans be part of the projects. Because don't you hate when you like, oh, there's a new project coming out, you get the news on it, and then it just disappears, and you never hear anything about it again, because there's contracts and things that are signed. But for Bluth Fables, this is 100% made for the fans. Don Bluth fans, animation fans, traditional animation fans, maybe Lavalle Lee fans, that one fan I have out there, maybe. Maybe one day I'll have a lot of fans. All right, let's see here. Just gonna clean out the eye. So again, what I'm doing here is I'm doing a thing called smudge up. Originally we were calling it cleanup, but then cleanup is something completely different. So this is actually smudge up. So now as you can see, his whole face is nice and clean. I mean, look at him, he's all dirty and all that smudge in there. He's got no smudge in his face now. So that's one of the biggest things. Amir says, what's your channel name? Look on the left there, on the bottom left of the screen. It says subscribe. It's youtube.com/Lavalle Lee. So if you go there, you can actually see the stream happening right now, as well as subscribe. Venetia says, Smeagol or Golem. That was it. Vivi, thank you for subscribing. You're awesome. Yeah, you could do fan art. Yeah, definitely. People send fan art all the time to Don, and it'd be great to see these characters as fan art, Just mention, that it's part of Bluth Fables. And we want to get the word out. The internet is a huge place, as you all know. And we want to get the word out that Don is doing a free project online for the fans to see. And it's brand new characters, brand new ideas, not you're not just living off a lot of artists. I'm not gonna say names, but a lot of artists who have been famous, they'll live off the characters they created 30 years ago. And I'm a person who's like, I want to see fresh new content. New, give me new. So his neck is all clean now. I love fresh new content, and I convinced Don, hey, let's do new stuff for the fans, not just rehashing old stuff or advertising old stuff. Let's do new stuff that gets people excited about Don Bluth again. So that's what this is about. This is about, make sure I get this right. This is about getting out there and making something fresh and new. I mean, maybe it gets so popular that we end up animating it. I mean, you never know. Anything is possible in this day and age. I mean, if the right people see this and they're like, wow, we love this, we want to turn these into cartoons, let's do a DVD of animations called Bluth Fables, we'd do it, you know? But as many of you know, animation is expensive. Animation is very expensive to do. Let's see. How long approximately does it take to get a picture cleaned? Vivi asks. Well, that depends. If I'm doing this by myself with like music on, where I'm not reading comments and stuff, but don't get me wrong, I actually all week I've been looking forward to doing this live stream, so I'm very glad I'm doing the live stream. I think this is a lot of fun. But I would say if I just had music on and I was just doing it just in the zone and not stopping at all for anything, I could probably get one of these done in an hour, maybe an hour and a half, two. It really depends, because I mean, if there's one character on a page, a lot faster. But when there's multiple characters on a page, and also there's other things involved with this as well, like background items, they're going to be grayscaled, like this barge he's on and this bottom rocks and everything, that's going to be, and this little stump he's sitting on, all that will be colored in grayscale. But that I need to actually go to Don, and then he tells me what colors he wants them to be in. So by doing that, I don't have to guess. But last week I guessed on the little troll goblin or the toad troll, and I also guessed on the lion. Actually, you guys helped me. Some of the people in the live stream helped me get the colors, and Don said yes. He agreed to the colors, and I was very happy because we didn't have to change the colors of the lion. And that was because I got help from you guys. So you guys can be really part of this project when I ask for colors or ask for, advice or what you think you like best. Look at all this smudge. It's so smudgy. Let's see. Showman says, will those books teach you how to draw? School is great for those who need guidance. However, I cannot attend due to my situation. If you want to learn how to draw books, I mean, I would pick up stuff like Andrew Loomis stuff. And he's got a lot of books, and it teaches you about anatomy and how to draw and life drawing and stuff like that. I mean, number one priority, number one thing when it comes to animation. In fact, I mean, Don says it, Richard Williams said it, the Nine Old Men said it. I mean, the Nine Old Men would go do live work on any project. They got live action reference that helps them come up with the characters and understand anatomy. So if you want to get better at drawing and draftsmanship, do life drawing, gesture drawing, pick up some Andrew Loomis books, and start learning anatomy. And then from there, you can learn animation because you'll get better and better and better at drawing. GRYZ, I'm gonna try to say this, Grizz. I've always loved Don's work. Me too, definitely. Let me see over here on Facebook. Chantel says, Bluth Fables, I love new content. One of my favorite Bluth characters is King Gator. Well, hopefully some of these Bluth Fables, the characters will be your new favorite Don Bluth characters. Now, wouldn't that be awesome? I think that'd be awesome. Ron says, oh my gosh, how many of these do you need to do? A lot, because we've got multiple stories. I might end up enlisting some help. We've got some people who live out here who've done desmudging before, and to get these done quicker, because I am swamped every day with so many different projects because I do traditionalanimation.com. I've got Don Bluth Studios, Don Bluth University. I help with Don Bluth, his theater where he does plays like Wizard of Oz and Wonderful Life. I help there, and they're in the middle of construction, so it's pretty intense. And then I, of course, have a girlfriend, and I got to dedicate time to her. Can't neglect your loved ones, of course. It's a big animation. No. I know you can get swamped in work, but do not, forget your loved ones. Otherwise, they'll leave you. Let's see. You can get sore spots like that. I mean, you always want to pay an artist for the work that they do. I mean, I've seen a message say, "Hey, are you an animator? Can you animate this for $50?" And it's like a 3.5 minute cartoon. So there's a lot of people out there, or they'll say, "Hey, I'll give you exposure if you animate for me," because animation is an important thing because you don't want to lower, people's expectations. I mean, some people think making cartoons is to do. I wouldn't say it's as hard as brain surgery or anything, but it is incredibly hard to do. So, but it's up there in the top what 10 hardest things to do is definitely creating the illusion of life and making animation look good. Because I mean, I've struggled with it for years to, I taught myself animation, then I had to unlearn everything I did. And even still, I sometimes will draw a flat character. I'm like, oh, look out, what are you doing? This looks terrible. How dare you do this? You're much better than this. Let's see. Chantel says, anything is possible. You're right. The new characters would be great. Thank you so much. Do you clean also the BGs or mainly the characters? Yes. If you see this right here, what I'm doing right here, let's see. Vivi, did Vivi ask that? Yeah, Vivi asked that. If you see, this is the background right here, so I just clean this whole background. See how it's all nice and white now? So yes, I clean the backgrounds too, unless it's part of a stump or the bottom layout, or say this stump here. What I'll do then is just add a gray. Like over here, if you look here, I'll give you an example. So there's the grays. So basically I just add gray behind the background items. So, but let me get back to this here. Okay, there we go. But yes, I do the background as well. Most of it. Let me see. Oh, let me scroll down. Oh my gosh, how many do you need to do? I think you asked that. Sorry if I'm repeating questions here. Shane says, I took life drawing class and 2D animation class. Good, but life drawing should be a lifelong thing. I used to go to life drawing in Orlando, and there are people like Aaron Blaze going to life drawing to polish up his skills, because even Aaron Blaze, even Don Bluth, even anybody, Eric Goldberg, you can't just stop. It's not like riding animation is not like riding a bike. You can't just stop and pick it back up, because then you got to draw, not stop drawing. So it's good to continue to do life drawing, even if you just did like one class. Continue to do more and more and more, and don't stop. So you just keep going for basically for as long as you want to be an artist. That's how long you should be doing it. So if you want to be a lifelong artist, you should be doing life drawing for the rest of your life. Let's see. Biswatan on YouTube says, sir, this is the first time I'm seeing this software. I use another. Could you please give a bit of like an intro of the software? It looks good, and I want to buy it. Okay, well, great. So what I did earlier, if you were here, I did this little blend tool, and last week I actually taught you if there's one layer, you can actually just change all the colors in that exact layer. It's in the last live stream. So this program, there's a lot of options you don't see on this page here. They're on my other screen, like the layers, the history, how big the brushes are, and all that. I keep that on a different screen so I can actually see and have more space over here. But pretty much up here, see my mouse going all the way up here, the top left, This file is called page 1-Bluth Fables Studio. Clip Studio, there's also a way to animate in the software, but I won't be doing that here. This is not animation, but to do .psd, because I sometimes like to bring it into Photoshop, and I like to use both programs. Mainly, the main reason I'm using Clip Studio, it lags and takes forever to load because it's a humongous program. Now this program is not that, it does not for me to use Clip Studio while streaming because it doesn't have any lag. And I don't want you guys hearing me go, oop, ah, burger, don't, nut, you know, like that, where you just can't understand a word I'm saying. All right, so kind of got ahead of myself and just started doing all the background. Let me get back on this character here and get up here in his head. Let's see, I go around here. Maybe I'll start coloring too, so I don't just do only desmudging. So in a live stream, I'll do desmudge and color, so you guys can see both. Let me just get rid of all this stuff around his neck. Okay, I got that. Let's see. Grizz says, wow, you said it right. I know my account name is odd. You can call me by my name, Gus, to keep things easy. Okay, Gus, thank you so much. That makes it, even though, and what's funny is that I hate when people butcher my name. My name is Lavalle, and they'll say Lavelle or Laval or something like that. So I understand your pain when someone has a difficult name, because I've been there a million times, actually. Especially in school. Teachers would be like, Lavarn? Like, that's not my name. Let's see. Showman says, awesome, dude. Treat her like royalty or like a piece of fine. Would you animate her if she would let you? I've done life drawings, though, of her. But animate, probably not. Animation takes too long, so right now I'm at the age where if I animate, there's got to be purpose behind it. Like it's for a project or it's something that's going to be released. Like I animated the bunny because I believe that one day we might actually turn this into animation. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, kind of ate. Another thing about the desmudging is you don't want to eat lines. So when I say eat lines, let me give you an example. Here's the ear. I'll be getting rid of the smudge and all of a sudden I just ate the line. So the line is no longer the way it should look. It's not the thickness. So when you're doing desmudge, it's always important to be, you just don't want to eat the line. Let's see, let me get in there. Really tiny little specks. Spike Comic says, does all paper? Yes. I would say, well, I don't know how they do it anymore, if they do it on pencil and paper. See, traditional means pencil and paper. On the computer, and then there's an eye, and another eye, and there's a nose, and then there's a mouth, you know, whatever. If they're drawing on the computer, then it turns into tradigital animation, because it's traditional plus digital animation. That's what people are calling it nowadays. But yeah, but traditional animation is taking pencil drawings and animating them on paper and pencil on an animation desk or with pegs. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Turn that on, and let's color this guy. Let me see if there's any more questions before I start coloring. Ron says, of course, you lose the line weight, etc. I wonder if there's a good technique that could be a hybrid of the two. We've tried. Like I've tried options, like you can say close the gap, close the margin, scaling, anti-aliasing, all that. Follow the adjacent pixel. We've played around with all, but it eats the lines, or it makes the lines look pixelated. Now, when I use an eraser, that close here, but when you use an eraser that you get really close, I'm on the wrong layer. Will be better, and you'll be able to see it a lot better than if you're watching this on Facebook. So you see I'm going really close right here. You see it smooths out because it's a soft eraser. So let me get rid of this. And then what I do is I follow the lines and go around and just delete like so. However, Now let me do it over here where I just use the marquee tool. Just amazing to do that. So you see when I zoom in, look at that. Look at that. It's just bitten off and you can see the pixelation. That's what that does. I mean, you can feather it, but the feathering is not 100%. It might end up eating the line. And that's the number one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to eat the line. So you get rid of, so you saw how pixelated that was. Now look over here where I just did that. You don't see the pixelation because it's so soft. You know, I go in there and I soften the edges so the pixelation isn't so obvious. You know, so that's basically why I do it the way I do it. And so it is using the, say, the lasso tool or the auto select tool because it just eats the line. Again, even if you feather, you'll might eat the line by accident, or you'll miss spots, or those little crevices you'll miss. So then it's just too much. You end up going back and just fixing things, or if you leave it, people will notice. This isn't vector art because vector understands. As an artist, you have to be paid. Vivi says, do you use the basic brushes or other ones? Well, I'm just using the watercolor in Clip Studio, and it's under, when you go to brush, you click on brush. Here, I'll just grab it and bring it over here. In here, you know, getting the colors. That's the wrong layer, of course. When I'm coloring the character, panel. So that's how I do it. Dense watercolor. Because I found that's the best tool when coloring in Clip Studio. I mean, I like it. I think it's a great, it's nice and clean. It's, oh, I'm gonna give him, let me bring that back over to the other screen. There we go. Let's see. Jared, hey Jared. Did you know that there's fast tricks in Photoshop to only grab the sketch lines and scan drawings? It deals with the make it. There'll be times where you miss spots, and there'll be times where it'll eat into the line still. It's not 100%. Gregorio, and in school, Jared, yes, I'm doing this manually for a reason. Because again, the lines are not perfect when you easy and fast and quick and like CG animation, just click a button, render, and boom, you've got an entire movie. Just go percent accurate, then to miss out on spots and just because there's going to be those people who zoom in and go, hey, this is pretty cool. Oh, they missed a spot. You know, that always happens, you know. People who want to, I mean, at that point, you just might as well have the computer animate for you, you know, or draw for you. If you just want everything so easy. It's better to take your time, learn, and yeah. That's Disney stopped using them caps or the last cells. I'm not 100%. I think it was the first time they used caps, which was a computer software to color, just like I'm doing. I'm coloring on the computer animation drawings. Let's see. I hope we're not. But yeah, so apologize if it's lagging. Hopefully, when the stream is, you can rewatch it, and there will be no lag. He's from class. He is from Don Bluth University. He's taking the classes. Welcome, Tom. Would there be any advantage of converting your drawings to monochrome bitmaps? That way it'd be a quick way to ink pencil artwork. I don't know. I've never done that before. Indiegogo campaign, because this is how the Dragon's Lair pitch was done and colored and everything. So, but yeah, I haven't tried changing anything to bitmap or anything like that. Let's see. Ooh, anything. So go all around the eye, and then we'll color his face, and we'll see how his face looks. All right, let's color that in. Boop, there he is. Let me zoom out. Get rid of that and use that big dark line. Sometimes Dom will have multiple lines, and I'll just guess which one he wanted to use. So let me go back over here. Vivi says, how do you do the coloring? I think it. Therefore, I've already got. It's always good just to double check your work. Mohammed says, how do you clean your line while painting? Well, break anything or erase. Can you transfer animation to another software like Flash animation? Tar Hell says. I don't know. Flash is buggy. Flash is pretty much dead. I believe all the browsers are no longer going to be accepting Flash on browsers anymore. Shop file in Flash now, unless Adobe. It does export in Swifts, but I think their main goal now is uh, Animate is to work with Adobe After Effects. Let's see. McGann says, "Hey, howdy! I completely understand the whole name of the first very successful website." And I had a bunch of viral videos and viral hits. Very proud of that. They're even still on YouTube or Newgrounds. I've won Newgrounds awards. It's been pretty cool. Making cartoons online. I actually might do some videos like that where I talk about how to make it on the internet, making your own cartoons. Because I know a lot of people out there want to make their own cartoons, earn a living, and I've been tips and tricks on how to earn a living making online cartoons. And there's a lot of people doing it out there. It's really hard to do it as one person, though. So if you're just one person, you can make some. Let's see. Katrina says, would you ever like to do a project with cells just for artistic nostalgia? Yes, if there was money. But here's another thing, and I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but cell animation, all that would in America or Canada or any other country besides Japan or South Korea, there's not many people who can teach you. And those who were doing it back in the 80s or the, they're very difficult to do. Like when we actually did some cells, we had a hard time when we did limited edition cells for the campaign, the Dragon's Lair pitch presentation prequel campaign. Because they're there, and it's I know the company that sold the paints, Cartoon Color. I know they stopped selling paint unless they started again. But man, it'd be amazing to do because then think about it, like then you have all these art pieces that you could give the fans, sell the fans, promote the fans. I mean, who doesn't want? Who doesn't want to have a cell from their favorite cartoon or movie? I even have cells myself, So I totally understand. Let's see. Gus says, yeah, I switched to Facebook to feel feed since your YouTube was stuttering bad. A lot better here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because Facebook brings down the quality, so that might help. The quality is much higher on YouTube. Jared says, why not use a really nice digital sketch pencil with a Cintiq to avoid brutality? I am using a Cintiq, and we're not drawing this on the computer. This was scanned, Jared. So this was scanned. This is a pencil drawing that was scanned. We don't want this to be digital art. So it was scanned, and we're just cleaning it up and coloring it. Therefore, it's 100% Don's drawing, and Don does not draw on the computer. Vivi says, really great work. Thanks, Vivi. Torhel says, I mean the new. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can upload images and JPEGs or PNGs and stuff to Flash or Adobe Animate, but that's all I know about that. I haven't used Flash in years. Vivi says, we would like to see videos of how you make your own cartoon. That'd be fun. Vivi says, yes, please. Okay, let's go over to YouTube here. Let's see. Gus, fine art. Yeah, so let me go over here. Again, if you just joined the stream, please share. Let's get as many people in here as possible to be part of this journey. Also, if you can, come follow the YouTube channel, which is on the left bottom there, the link. Or not the link, you can't click it, but it is youtube.com/Lavalle Lee. And I know since I started streaming, the subscriber count has gone huge. So if YouTube ends up being really big, we'll end up just doing it on YouTube. because I think there's issues of streaming quality on Twitch. But for the highest quality, again, you got to watch it on YouTube. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to answer as many questions as possible. I just got a message from a friend of mine, says he's watched. I'll zoom out. Oh, goofed up there. See, just like I was saying before, it's not 100% accurate when you use the marquee. I gotta go in there and make sure I don't eat the line. Okay, that's all gone. Zoom out. Get rid of this. To here. Clean up his bow tie and color that. Let's see. Get in there. Let's see. I think his bow tie was a really bright pink. Let me double check. No, it's not. It's definitely not pink. But let me go grab it just so I have it. Oh. So get rid of the lines. Clean up that area there. And again, what I'll do later in my own time is I will double check the lines and make sure that I clean them up correctly, that I'm not missing as humanly possible. Probably find mistakes, but don't dwell on a drawing, because then you end up just working on it way too much. There's a time where you say, okay, that's it. That's good enough. Because otherwise you could probably sit there and fix a drawing for days and days on end. Oops. Keep clicking the wrong button. Eraser. Okay, get in here. Okay, that looks good. Now I will paint that. That is going to be called the kangaroo scarf. Kanga scarf. All right, let's color that. Nice. It's a nice bright color too, if you notice that. It's not bad at all. Let's see, get in here. Color that, go around here. Then, paint bucket. There you go. Now that's nice and clean. Again, this too much background noise. There's no background itself or objects or multiple characters. It's just one character, so you can just hammer out a character. What size paper is the original Don drawing? He's drawing on 12 field animation paper, but if you look over here, I think it's edit, canvas size. This was scanned at 300 or 500 DPI, and the width is 7,228 by 5,456. So it's pretty huge. Like if I wanted to and make an ad for it, it would look good on a billboard. Because streams earlier, you do this for hand-drawn characters as well. So say you have individual drawings of a character, and he's animated, and you scanned all the animation drawings. You can do desmudging for every frame, and then either use this software at Clip Studio to put them together, or use Premiere or something to put them together as a video. But yes, you could do it that way, where there could be individual drawings that you're using for animation. Let's see. Sorry, I was burping there, so I'm trying to be polite and quiet about it because it's gross. All right, let's see. Let me cut that off there. So if you notice Don, when he draws, a lot of the time he'll draw through things, and then you've got to go in there and you got to erase that, because that's just his way of constructing a character, which is good. It's the way everyone should do it. Let's see. Nice and clean. I like that. Oh, eraser over here. can still see a little bit of smudge. See that? A little smudge down here. Once you start adding colors, you can start seeing some of the extra smudge that you missed. And it's needed to get rid of. You should not keep it. Make sure you delete it as much as possible. Oh, see right there? Little piece here. Yeah, as soon as you add color, you can really tell where you made mistakes. I see a whole bunch of little mistakes. I mean, what I'll normally do, but I did it in the first stream, is I put a background color on, but I thought it was like too bright for people's eyes. I didn't want to do that again, so now I just use a white background and I'll just go over and clean it. But sometimes it's good to just, now I'll show you what I'm saying, or I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So let me zoom out here. So instead of using a white background, what you can do, this is another trick, as long as you're not live streaming, choose a color, a really bright color. So I'll choose pink, really bright pink, right? Like there. And then color it in. Give it a second. Now you can really see issues when it comes to desmudging. So getting rid of the extra little pieces here. I mean, you could see it so much better when you leave a color. Does that bother you guys? Does that color bother you at all? Because I can go back to white. I just remember somebody said that it's so bright, and I don't want to have it too bright and not be fun for you guys to be in here. So I want to make you guys as comfortable as possible and enjoy being part of the stream. Megan says, wait, you have a Twitch account? Yes, and I think it's a traditional animation on Twitch. Not sure exactly the link. It might be like twitch.com/traditional animation. I'm not quite sure exactly how the link system works, but yeah, just it's traditional. Haha, sorry, it's turning out nice, but looks like a nightmare process. It's therapeutic. Like when you're just sitting here and you get into the zone, it's fun. And if this is your job, you know, you say you're in animation, use certain tools like you mentioned. I think you said the overpaint. The overpaint does exactly what you say. Overpaints. So it will overpaint lines. Again, it will eat the lines. So I don't want lines to look pixelated, and I don't want them to be eaten up. They got to be perfect. I mean, that was one of the things the Nine Old Men hated about celluloid animation, was somebody would go over their drawings and redraw them with their own lines. So then the animators never got to see their own lines. It was somebody else's lines who was paid to just go over their lines and color them with ink and paint. It wasn't until I think it was Dalmatians where the animators actually finally got to see. The people who were inking lost their jobs because they found a way to do it. But I mean, both ways have their own charm. Because when you see the animators' lines, they use Xerox. I mean, you'd still see some of the characters' construction lines, which is cool. But at the same time, it was nice to see, you know, purely clean lines and painted, like Lady and the Tramp or Snow White. Let's see. Mohammed says, do you experience work at Disney? No, I did not work for Disney. I've worked with people who've worked for Disney, but I've never worked for Disney. I was too young to actually work on any traditional animation stuff, and I don't want to work on CG animation. I just don't want to. Probably could, but I don't want to. My love is for hand-drawn animation, not computer animation or CG computer-generated animation, like Toy Story and stuff. I mean, they do have their own charm, but that's not something I really want to do personally. And I don't know. To each their own, though. And by the time I was an adult, Disney was pretty much done with hand-drawn animation. Plus, I was not living in the right place either. It's when you're young, it's hard to leave your, well, for some people to leave your country, but to leave your state as well. And I didn't come from a rich family, so it would have been almost impossible to do without the money. All right, let's see here. Again, if you're new and you're just joining us, I'm Lavalle Lee with Don Bluth Studios, working on a thing called Bluth Fables. And this is a free idea that we're going to be making these videos with Don narrating. And if you can, go ahead and follow us on, or subscribe to us on YouTube. And the YouTube address is there on the bottom left. It's youtube.com/Lavalle Lee. Really beautiful. I haven't grabbed a pencil in ages. What's stopping you? Come on. You should totally start drawing again. Nothing is better, I think. I mean, it's whenever I draw, I'll sit there and just doodle sometimes and maybe come up with a character. I love it. I love it so much. And it's so rewarding. I just wish I was enough time to turn everything into a cartoon, you know? Let me get this right here. Nice and clean. Get in there. These are his overalls. So his overalls need a little bit of a... So again, Don puts a line through, so he just goes zoop, so he knows exactly where the line is. And then you come back later and you erase the line. Otherwise, it would look weird. There shouldn't be a line through overalls, the little strap that holds up the overalls. See this little gap right here? What I'll end up doing in Photoshop, I close gaps in Photoshop. There's no clone tool in Clip Studio, so I can't sit there and clone, and I end up doing that Clip Studio and Photoshop. And it's okay to use 2 programs, you know. Some people use 10 programs. They'll sit there and, especially like CG artists, they'll use like 3D Studio Max or Maya, then they'll use Blender or whatever. They'll also use Photoshop. You know, they'll just use just a whole bunch of different types of programs. Let's see, did he have a different color? No, his color was that color. Okay. So let's zoom out and see how clean he's. Yeah, see, it's starting to come out nicely. So I'm gonna clean around. There you go. Looks like he's got some kind of cloth here. That means I get to choose a color for the cloth coming up. That's probably the next live stream because we are getting close. Wow. Yes, you draw digitally, don't you? Nicholas, hey Nicholas. Is this the newest animated project by Don Bluth? It is not animated. It is going to be a storybook story. So it'll be still imagery. And what you'll see is narration underneath or above. And Don's going to be a narrator where he talks about this project or this the story or reads off the story. And then it's going to be like a storybook that goes from page to page. So we're just trying this out to see if the fans like it, see if people are interested. And from there, we'll make more. Don wrote about 12 of these, so there's quite a lot to do. Let's see, over on YouTube, Biswayton, it's almost been a year since I made pencil drawing animations. Been only doing digital work for so long, thinking about getting my pencil work started up again. I know. I mean, I'm in the same boat. Most of my work that I do is what I'm doing now. I've done a lot of pencil work when there's some in-betweening to do, but when it comes to this drawing, I gotta do it on my own time, just for fun. Otherwise, because Don does all the drawings and all the animation, but I'm lucky that I get to do in-betweening of his animation when there is animation. I think we've done 3 projects plus the school that I've been able to do in-betweening. But other than that, I do a lot of things on the computer. I do effects on the computer. I'll do voice acting, and I'll do smudge up, coloring, and editing. But I would love to do as much drawing as I can do on pencil and paper. It's just the workload doesn't demand me to do that, so I gotta do that on my own time. But I'm sure a lot of people out there who are watching, you may have a job in art of some kind, and you basically do all your work digitally. And I understand. That's the world we live in today. So the world we live in is a digital world, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you just can't beat the look and feel of drawing on pencil and pencil drawings. But then you see some amazing digital artwork that just blows your mind. mean, every day, just on my feed, I'll see artists with or even on the traditional animation group, artists who have just so much talent digitally, and it's just insane. And I wish I could do that too. But my expertise is mostly in pencil, paper, drawing. But I am getting better at coloring. Oh, that's bad. Here we go. Piece by piece, this will come together. I promise. And then I'll probably go a little further on this for next week live stream, which I'm thinking is going to be on Monday. If you guys want to come join and watch. But yeah, it'll be Monday, and I'll probably be a little further along. Maybe I'll try to clean up all the background noise. Therefore, you don't have to watch me because that's always boring. The inside's more fun, and then I'll color as well. But the outside's not too exciting. That's just something that needs to get done. Because when you do the inside of the character, then you can color them, which is awesome. Let's see. Okay. Davis named him Barney, like the purple dinosaur. I don't think he was named after Barney, the dinosaur, but that's just the name he was given, and he's the sweetest dog ever. And he's a smart dog too. So like, if you like, okay, let me get all this. But yeah, then he just wakes up and then he just goes every day. It just depends on what needs to be done, Daniel. So I mean, he could work on the theater, then he could work on, and you can actually learn and get the history of Don Bluth from the man's own mouth. Well, from his own typewriter. But yes, so you'll actually find out truths and things that are facts, because there's a lot of online stuff that people believe are facts. Like even the Wikipedia about Don Bluth is wrong. There's so many things on there that are just wrong. So when his autobiography comes out, you'll finally get to see or read the truths. Like it'll be in how his life was. No problem that they were able to make that, but the artwork's still there and the story's still there, but it just never happened. Like many projects. Thomas says, that's funny because you have a purple dinosaur in your drawing. He's not actually a dinosaur. Don chose that color, but he's actually a kangaroo. Don just, because you see his tail, it's a kangaroo tail. But Don, and he's got a little pouch thing here. But yeah, this is a kangaroo. He just went for it and made it look like it looks. Daniel says on YouTube, when the next live stream is, then you'll basically, I'm going to be working on this until it's finished. So you'll see step by step of this project, of this specific, because I've never actually showed people how I work in Premiere. So you'll learn a lot. If you don't know anything about Premiere and you want to learn, definitely come to those live streams, because you'll learn a lot. I am pretty good in Premiere. I've learned a lot from some professionals, on my own, and tutorials and tips and tricks. I've gotten really good at making videos. I've made plenty of them. So let's see. Let's go over to Facebook. Bill Pete, I love those books. So I'm getting rid of all that. As you can see, here's some smudge. Here's it cleaned. Same with up here. I cleaned him completely, his head, and around his head. And then I'm still working on the inside here. So yes, it's a thing called desmudge or smudge up. We used to call it cleanup, but it's not cleanup, because that's something completely different. Jane says, what type of effects do you do? I did a lot of, if you watch, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you've seen the Don Bluth Dragon's Lair pitch / prequel that we did, like there'd be water, rain, ripples, shadows, reflections, cinders, fog. My goodness, there's a lot of stuff I did. I know there's some more in there. Whenever there was like effects that looked like it was Premiere or After Effects, I did all those. So I didn't do hand-drawn effects. All the hand-drawn effects were done by Don, but I added additional effects like, After Effects stuff like what I just said I did. You can get rid of it with blending options. Layer blending options, adjust the grades until they're gone. Yes, Jonathan, that is correct. But here's the problem, Jonathan, with that. Then you lose the lines. So I can sit there and I can adjust like the levels or the blending options like you said, and it will light over here if you guys are interested. But I don't want them to disappear. So when you do effects like, or you're doing blending options or levels, you'll lose the. Okay, so um, is lines either getting darker or lighter? Am I on the right level here? Let's see. And it's not working. Hold on. Okay, gotta turn this into saturation, make it black and white. Okay. So you see how I'm lightening it up to get rid of the extra lines. So yeah, there you go. So you've gotten rid of all the smudge. But now look up here. Look how faded that is. And now there's a hole there. It's just a hole there. It's just the lines are so much lighter rather than darkening the lines and making the lines thicker and then just getting rid of the smudge. So there's benefits to, you know, cutting out the background, but then the lines just become so, what is the word? The lines become so much lighter that they're not thick lines anymore. So it just doesn't look as nice and dark like this. Boom. Nice thick lines. And that is this. Nice thick lines. And they're not too thin. They close off and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense. Yes, Jonathan, it's the same thing. It will either lighten the lines or eat the lines up. So it won't be perfect. Because again, this is not vector drawings. These are Adobe Premiere. Taking a video, you use Premiere to put video together, like YouTube videos of people talking, or even movies. Movies use Premiere. Daniel says on YouTube, these live streams are super satisfying, by the way. That's great. Thank you so much. We've got 41 viewers, so I'm very happy. There's a lot of people in this stream. I know it starts off pretty big with like maybe 100, but then it drops down, but that's fine. There's a URL on the bottom left there to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lavalle Lee. Please subscribe. I will be doing another live stream on Monday. I'm going to be ending this, so please let me zoom out here and show you guys as much as we did today. Okay, so this is as far as we got, which isn't really that far, but I'll do more on my own, like around here, clean up all this little area. So all I'll be doing is the characters for you guys on the next live stream, which will be Monday. I don't know exact time. Just if you subscribe and hit that little notification button on YouTube, it'll tell you right away that I just logged on or went live. Same with Facebook. You go to Facebook and say follow first. It'll say, you know, Tradition Animation just went live, or wherever you found it. Let's see. Jenny says thanks for answering. You are welcome. Andre says, well, the result is beautiful. Yeah, let me go back to this one. This one was one we worked on together, all of us. I think this was a 2-week one. It took 2 weeks, unfortunately. Again, I'd be doing these things a lot quicker, but I think it was 3 live streams when we finished it. The problem is I've got so much on my plate. I try to do this on my own time because when I'm at the office, we've got done with university. We've got the other projects that we can't talk about. And then I've got Tradition Animation, plus the girlfriend, and a lot of other projects I also can't talk about. But this is the one that's going to be free for the fans to see, and it'll be online 100% for everybody. And it looks great. Let me zoom in. There you go. Move this over a little bit. because I know there's a chat box there. But yes, these guys are great. Those purples are kind of close to each other. I should ask Don about that. But Venetia says, doing good. Keep up the good work, and I'll be sure to tune in on Monday. Yes, I'll probably live stream as soon as I wake up. I stay up late, so I mean, hopefully I'll be up by 12, 1 or 2. But as soon as I wake up, I'll just jump on and start working on this. Let's see. Over on YouTube, Thomas says, does Mr. Bluth have an author who's helping him write his autobiography? No, Thomas. Oh, you didn't have to retract that. That's fine. You can ask that. No, Don is writing that 100% himself. So, but once we send it to the publisher, we've got a couple publishers who are actually interested. When we send it to the one we decide to go with, they'll have an editor go in there and completely edit the whole thing. And then Don will do another pass, read through, make sure the editor didn't change anything or mess up anything. And then there'll probably be another edit after that. So we don't know exactly when it's going to be released because Don's been working on it now for a while. But it's huge. It's like 270 pages or something like that. It's gigantic. And it's going to be cool. Jenny says, on the next live, can you talk about what theater work Don's doing? I can tell you right now real quick. So basically his theater just moved to a larger location. And when we did that, coronavirus hit. And it was such a bummer because then we had to shut down the theater. So, but right now the theater, the new location, which is a lot bigger and a much better place right along the freeway of the 101 in Scottsdale, it's basically being constructed right now. So they've got contractors inside putting together the theater, the stage, the lighting, all of that. I believe that's going to take 2.5 months, and then they're going to start rehearsing, and then they're going to have their first shows, I believe, in January. But yeah, they've got a whole slew of shows they're going to be playing next year. I think depending on the virus thing, there might be like social distancing or you have to wear a mask. So there might be like, I think at theaters, because theaters just open, what they'll do is they'll have a seat and then a blank seat and then a seat and then a blank seat. They have where you can't sit close to people. So that will probably be done. But yeah, that's how it's going to work. Thomas says, wow, that's awesome. Yes. Chrysaline. Hey, Chrysaline. Will Mr. Bluth be recording an audiobook for his autobiography? I don't know. He might get somebody else to do it, but that'd be. I did talk to him about that, but we might, because I mean, I would even listen to that, because I go to California a lot for work or pitching or whatever with Don, and then we could just in the car just have the autobiography just playing. That's how I not read, but I listened to the Walt Disney story, Pixar story, Simpsons story. The Jim Henson story. I just listened to all these different stories or autobiographies or biographies, not autobiographies, biographies. People wrote about these great people, and just listen to them while I drive to California. And it takes like 5.5 hours to get to California. So I just sit there and listen. And I listened to the Walt Disney one like 3 times because sometimes I miss something and I just want to hear it again and again and again. Plus, I love the story of Walt Disney. It's such a great story, like everything he's done. So, but yeah, and Jenny, the next live stream, I'll talk more about the theater if you like, and I'll give more goodies. But yeah, so thank you, everybody. This is the one we're working on. This is where we'll work on this more on Monday. Please join. Again, subscribe, youtube.com/Lavalle Lee. And yeah, we'll be doing it again. I'm Lavalle Lee from Tradition Animation at Don Bluth Studios. Thank you guys.